What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I know I am after I just saw my absolute queen demolish a woke journalist. I mean, this is maybe the best timeline in history. Clearly, Brie Larson has been watching my videos because she saw a trap being set for her by a woke journalist from Variety magazine, goading her into disavowing Mr. Johnny Depp, except she expertly navigated that question and delivered a counter that just made me so very proud. Now, in case you're not aware of the deep lore of Brie Larson, I have been very critical of her, I don't know, man-hating ways, her wokeness, I don't know, her, I don't really care what a 40-year-old white guy says about my movie being the worst part of the Endgame and Marvel movies. And hey, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the Marvels turns out. I think that there are a lot of people that think, that this movie is going to be a flop. I don't know. I just don't know anymore because most Marvel movies just aren't doing that good at all anymore. It's like with Little Mermaid. I don't know. I really can't. I mean, I just don't think it's going to flop because just too many people know like about the Little Mermaid and know all that kind of stuff. So with the Marvels, I mean, Brie Larson has a built-in fandom. I don't think that Camilla Khan really does. And Monica Rambeau's character, meh, nobody really cares about her except, a very small group of people. But Brie Larson was at the film festival, by the way. I'm not sure. Is this the one? Is Cannes the film festival or is Sundance where like both of the founders were nonces? I don't know. There's so many in Hollywood. But here we need to leave a like for my queen, Brie Larson. Brie Larson was like fuming after she was asked an awkward question by about Johnny Depp's controversial comeback film opening the Cannes Film Festival this week. The actress, 33, who is a Cannes juror, was visibly tense when asked if she would see the Johnny Depp vehicle, Jean Dubarry, after being one of the most outspoken advocates of the Me Too movement. Well, I mean, I think, Amber has quit Hollywood, allegedly. I don't believe that. She has at least left Hollywood, according to her. Brie is at a precipice of deciding where she wants to go. I mean, I think it's pretty clear she doesn't like being in the Marvel movies. I don't think she likes the Marvel fandom. I don't think she likes all the criticism and stuff that goes along with it. I think she wants out, but how could you turn down these multi-million-dollar paychecks? Now, Larson responded to a journalist question during the press conference, quote, "You're asking me that? I'm sorry. I don't understand the correlation or why me specifically." Well, to be fair, there is an obvious reason why they would ask you. You rode like the Me Too movement. You rode all of that. That was you, girl. You were the one that went out there and said men bad. So yeah, that's why they're asking you. But let's look at this exchange here.
Hi, this is Matic Majcem from the daily newspaper Večer in Slovenia. I have a question for Brie Larson. In the past 2 decades, we've seen you taking on roles both in independent cinema and superhero films. So having worked on both opposites of the film industry, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you think that maybe good Marvel films should get more opportunities to be shown on festivals such as this one? Or is it better that both sides of the film industry are separated one from another? Thank you.
That is not the clip I was expecting. Hold, please. Here we go.
As a sort of outspoken and very vocal advocate for Time's Up and Me Too, I'm curious how you feel about Johnny Depp's film.
By the way, two movements that did nothing. I suppose you could argue that they got rid of Harvey. He was a pretty big creep. Was that it? I know several men ended their own existences over false accusations. I know that it became a profitable venue for people to deflect criticism. But anyway, let's see how she responds.
Opening the festival, and do you plan to see it?
I mean,
I
that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't understand the correlation or why me specifically.
Oh,
Well, to be fair, again, the journalist is trying to bait her into disavowing Johnny or saying she's not going to get a headline. But the journalist did, in fact, say why he was asking her.
just you were on the advisory council, celebrity advisory council for Time's Up. I think the Johnny Depp case has been very well played out in American and international media.
Understood.
There's been some controversy about that film being chosen to play out of competition.
Why? He was vindicated. So what this loser is really asking is, hey, he was vindicated in by a jury of his peers, and the person that made the accusation is literally running away to a different country. But how can we still boycott him? How can we still hold him accountable for something that he didn't do? Now, I want to be clear. I know Johnny stans hate it when I say this, but I am not one of those people that think the guy was guilt-free. There's plenty on tape of him being unhinged, drunk, and on drugs. That doesn't take away, and I feel the dislikes coming. You said something mean about Johnny. It's just a fact. I'm pretty sure Johnny admits that, okay? I just don't buy into this, like, the guy never did anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. Now, do I think he put his hands on her like she said? No, I don't. I think that she did that. That was all trumped up for publicity, and it backfired.
An open can. So I'm just curious if you will see it and how you feel about its selection here.
Well, you'll see, I guess, if I'll see it, and I don't know how I'll feel about it if I do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You'll see when I see it. You see, that's a loaded question. They know there are certain contingencies of the internet that don't like her, and this is bait. I agree with that. I look, I'm defending Brie here. Many of you know how deeply I'm in her fandom. I'm competing with guys like Jeremy Griggs and Ryan Kinnell for #1 Brie Larson fan. And I just think, I assume they must have already covered this if they're as much of a fan as I am. But like, that journal was definitely trying to gotcha her, bring her into the Johnny thing. Why wouldn't she? And then, like, look at all the headlines too. This is also great. All the headlines are like, oh, Brie Larson might not see this movie. Brie Larson declines to answer if she's going to see. Like, they still got their headlines. All they had to do was ask the question, and they finally got their headlines anyway. Visibly tense. I mean, I don't know. I have really no interest whatsoever in seeing a French film. I don't speak French. I don't care about this movie at all. I'm also not the type of person that is like, oh, I like this actor, so I must consume every single piece of content that they've ever made. I hope it does well for him, but it's not like this movie's going to make $1 billion in the movie theater and won't even be released in the United States. So, I mean, I think, Johnny continues to win, obviously signing a $20 million deal to remain the face of Dior. Do people still buy cologne and perfume? I didn't even know that. Deflecting the question when she was pressed further, she said, "You'll see, I guess, if I will see it, and I don't know how to feel about it if I do." In remarks to the press on Monday, Kane's director Thierry Frémaux defended the choice, saying Depp is extraordinary in the film and paid no attention to the trial. "To tell you the truth, in my life, I only have one rule. It's the freedom of thinking, the freedom of speech, and the freedom to act within a legal framework. If Johnny Depp had been banned from acting in a film, or the film was banned, we wouldn't be talking about it here. In the movie, we'll see a 59-year-old actor return to the big screen for the first time in years, with a French actress, Maïwenn, starring alongside Depp as Jeannie. In 2017, Larson famously failed to clap for Casey Affleck after presenting him with the Oscar for the actor in the leading role. Affleck was previously sued by two women for harassment allegedly committed during the filming of I'm Still Here. Both suits settled in 2010. She said at the time, "I think whatever it is I did on stage kind of spoke for itself." So she specifically, came out and said, hey, I didn't clap because I think he's a creep or whatever the case is. Look, I think everybody in Hollywood's a creep. I genuinely do. And I think the only people creepier than the creeps in Hollywood are the creepy reporters, the creepy fans that like are literally obsessed with their lives. I mean, yeah, I mean people say that about me with Brie, but like I'm just memeing. Like I don't care about Brie Larson. I've never paid to see one of her movies. I guess Endgame indirectly. That wasn't even her movie. She was in it for like a sea hair of time. So, but you know, she did, I think, handle herself expertly there. I think Brie may be on a little bit of a redemption arc here, and I'm here for it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.